What's going on, YouTube? KaoticBPR here. And if you want to turn your AtGames Legends Ultimate into from something pretty boring to something pretty amazing like this, watch this video to find out how to do it yourself. That's right, guys. I got another package from the Etsy seller 3D Custom, and it's Rob again. This time, not speaker grills from the 4KP, but speaker grills for your ALU. And this time, he did me a real solid and customized me a pair for my channel. Now, you see me open up the box here. I just opened up the instructions, and they're really detailed. We'll go into them. I actually use them really well. But check this out. KaoticBPR speaker grills. Red and yellow. That kind of matches, the colors of my logo and everything. And I'm okay with that. Like, he asked me, you didn't specify what color that you want them to be. And I said, it doesn't really matter. It's fine. I like this. I think it makes it really pop. So these are the new frames. Now, these frames, you're actually going to stick into the back of your ALU, and I'll show you how to do that. And you'll actually mount the speakers to that. And it comes with its own remote in case you don't have a 4KP one. If you do have speaker grills for your 4KP, that same remote will actually work for both. And it also comes with some cable clips, which I didn't really have to use these because I don't really care about all the wires inside my cabinet. So go ahead and pull out your Ultimate Legends out and unplug everything, and then go ahead and start unscrewing the 6 screws or 8 screws out of the top bar top area, the back panel for like the top area. Go ahead and take those out and keep those screws because you will need them later. Now, carefully remove the back panel and make sure you go ahead and unplug the stuff that is actually connected to the back panel, the wires. And then set the back panel to the side. Now that we're done with the back area, let's go ahead and move to the front of your cabinet. And I recommend having 2 people, you and somebody else, help you out with this, because you're going to unscrew these screws from the speaker grills, the stock speaker grills. Here's the issue with that. The Sam's Club model, which I have here, the newest model, the speakers are actually screwed into those speakers, the speaker grills. So when you pull all those out, unscrew all those, your speakers can easily fall out the back side of your cabinet. So that's why I recommend having somebody back there holding those and then carefully setting them, because if you see here, after I get all these screws out, and Rob actually warns me in the instructions, but I wasn't sure if it was mine or if it was like anybody else, like the older versions of the ALU. But go ahead and take these out. And guys, you'll actually not need these you'll not need these screws anymore. Rob includes longer screws so that you can actually screw it into the new panels that he actually does. But see, as you see here, as I unscrew that last screw, both of my speakers fall out the back of the cabinet. Now, they weren't damaged. They were still attached to the cabinet and everything. But so that you don't have, any kind of things, any kind of like damage to your speakers, it'd be nice just to have somebody back there helping you. Now, this is where you're actually going to remove the 3M backing to these. I want to say they're the what's going to be what the speakers are going to connect to, and he 3D printed these so perfectly that they actually fit inside these square areas right here, where the actual speakers will sit back in. So it's really clever. Like what has Rob done with the installation and the design of this. So you want to go ahead and make sure you take off all of these stickers off of these sticky pads, and you want to line it up. Use this one on the right side. It's going to be your left if you're looking at the front of the cabinet, but on the back side, it's going to go into the right side. And you want the remote sensor facing in towards the speaker hole. And like I said, guys, it's foolproof. He 3D printed these things so that they actually fit right inside those grooves. And you just put it in there and then press down on all the spots where you took out the sticky things. Now, there is 3M tape on the other side as well. And that's where the actual speaker housing is actually going to connect to these things so that you're able to screw the panel, the speaker grills back into the panel, and it will catch. All right, so now I'm just going to grab my speaker real quick, and as you can see, it lines up perfectly so that once I sit it into its place, it's going to find those holes perfectly. And just sandwich it from front to back to make sure it fits into all of its slots very easily. And it gets that adhesive going and that it's stuck to it. Now, moving on to the second panel. I've already got all my sticky tape released. And it fits in its slot very, very easily. Just literally perfectly. Set it in. Get that adhesive going. Then turn around and put your speaker back up there. And again, set it in there so that it sits in there firmly with all the adhesive. And see, it's not going anywhere. Both sides check out pretty good. We're ready to move on to phase 3. Now, phase 3, you're going to want to fish. And this is kind of difficult. And I explained this to Rob that it is a little difficult to fish the power cable from the speaker grill through that hole that he 3D printed on the base. So I found it pretty difficult to find where that groove was. But just take your time and try to fish it through the best you can. Once you fished it through there, get it all the way through so that the wire is all the way in. And then go ahead and line up your speaker grill. Get the screws that Rob has provided. Line them up. Now, again, this is where a second person will come in really in handy. You want that second person to hold the speaker housing in the back down into a spot in case the screw is not catching into the correct hole, or if it's not fishing into it correctly and it's pushing that speaker out. As you can see here, it was not in there correctly. I just pushed the speaker grill back out. So now I got to go all the way back around to the front of my cabinet again and try to line this up again. So just took me a little longer. It's fine. You can do it as one person. Just make sure you have a little bit more room so you can reach both sides of the cabinet and be able to do this with 2 hands, or have another person with you. But eventually I find a hole that I can actually get it into and go ahead and start the screwing process. No pun intended, guys. Leave me alone. Or as my co-host on Yo Retro would say, pause. Technical foul. But once I got one of the screws lined up correctly, I was able to get the second one in, and then the third, and then the fourth. And we were actually able to get it locked in place. So just screwing them in, make sure I get them in there tight. and then boom. Do the same thing with the second one, and again, I have issues with it. It's not perfect, but I ended up leaning the cabinet towards me forward so that I was able to see the hole a little bit better, and I was able to feed it through it pretty easily that time. So that's a helpful tip that might help you. Use 4 more screws, screw those back in, and then we move to the back side of the cabinet. On the back side of the cabinet, guys, this is where you're just going to hook up all the electrical wiring. So the wires from the power cables from the 2 speaker grills, you're just going to go ahead and plug these in. They only go in one way, and they can go into either one, so it doesn't really matter. But once you get those in, it's time to move to the final steps. Now, the final steps is getting everything. He includes a splitter, so that, and this is the case where I had the bit LCD. So the bit LCD already had a splitter, but I had to split that power again from that. So I used a long end to plug into the new speaker grills, and then the short end I plugged into that splitter, and then I'll take the other short end, and it actually plugs into the back panel. So make sure you hook up the Ethernet cable, the USB controller, as well as the power adapter into the back panel. There's cable 1 and cable 2. Plugged it in. Now we are set. So go ahead and try and set up your back panel. Now, what I suggest is, to make sure you have everything hooked up correctly, is just put in 1 screw into the back panel. Plug everything in. Go to the front of your cabinet and turn everything on and see, and bam! Make sure your speakers light up. And then go ahead and install the rest of the screws into the back panel. You're good to go, guys. You're set. Now, enjoy your speaker grills. Enjoy the light show that you can do. You can do the same exact light show as the 4KP speaker grills. You can make them go to the music, make them go in different directions, different colors, all kinds of different effects that he has added to this. So, again, thank you, Rob, for sending these for purpose of review, as well as creating an installation tutorial. They have been awesome to show off, and I hope everybody who has ALU that is interested in these, pick these up. Again, installation was very fun, very easy to do. It's just better to have a second person there with you to make sure they hold things in place while you unscrew things and screw other things back in and place it in a different placements and everything. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this product. It should be releasing very, very soon on Rob's Etsy store. I'll have a link in the description below. Make sure you pick these up. And man, happy gaming, guys. Y'all have a great one. Guys, give me a thumbs up on the video if you liked it. And if you want to see more, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so whenever I go live or I have another content video drop, you are notified immediately. And guys, God bless. Enjoy your time in your home arcade. And we'll see y'all in the next video.